guys. Welcome to episode 12 of Nothing. Episode 12? Oh my God.
Yeah.
When he's standing, when he's kneeling down.
That's a
Oh my God.
dozen of episodes, man.
Episode 12. Guys, welcome
Episode 12.
to episode 12 of Nothing Serious. Kale had like a cool intro that I wanted to do, but it
What?
has sort
The
of
English jam, the
disappeared.
English
That the English is not English.
Kakogere mu Uganda. Manyi bagambe
Kati tugenda kubanga abali ku TikTok.
Kakenze, guys, but I have my random fact that Claire just gave me. And you better laugh.
We shall try.
If it's from
We
Claire,
shall try. We shall
it's already funny.
Hey.
I mean, how can light block light?
I am dying.
Give us that fact.
So, did you know that bats have a very high tolerance of alcohol? Like they can't get drunk. Yeah? But bees are the opposite. And the problem is bees love alcohol even if they have a very low tolerance. So they usually take like fermented nectar. Now, you know bees live in like a community, right? Now, when drunk...
Yeah, beehive. I mean. What's
Man, I remember beekeeper. I didn't see any community.
So,
when a bee comes back from like the flowers and or whatever and it has
from
taken
pollination.
like and it's drunk, the bees at the gate will deny it entry and they will beat it like, you are drunk, what are you doing here? And then they'll like break its wings or its legs as a punishment. Guys, you're supposed to be laughing.
Either Claire was also high when she was telling you that story. Or you were high when you were hearing the story.
I swear, Google.
Is that the shit bees
So
go
Michelle,
through?
what would you be in this particular case? Would you be the
Now,
bee or the
me.
bat?
And so I was telling this story for one specific reason.
Yeah.
That you, Aine, you be well, had you been a bee, I don't know if you would have like the legs or the arms, but
So
like...
you know what it be.
I tell the TikTok version is crazy.
I have to yes, I have to
Singa wali
translate for
bee.
people. Kubanga bu clip.
That's what Piper says. That's what Piper
Singa wali
says.
bee.
If you were a bee,
Bitchy cats.
Guys, that's not where my joke was supposed to
Is this how we are
go.
starting
Oh my
how we are
God.
starting today's episode?
Okay.
With this
Let me try
That's
again.
my
Let me try mine. I saw a
That's
question
not
on
how my
Twitter.
joke was supposed to go. You were just supposed to like...
What about your joke was funny?
We will laugh at your joke if you answer this question.
yeah.
Look at it.
What is a female cat called?
Catwoman.
Catwoman.
Very good.
What is
Cat
a
called
female cat called Claire?
pussy.
But no, it's called a kitty.
It's called a kitty.
No, I think that's a kitten. Like people.
Kitten is a young
Kitten is
one.
a young
I
one of the
thought like
cat.
people cut the name short from kitten to kitty.
Guys, thank you for subscribing, for liking Childies and Serious
Man,
Human
thank you
Beings.
for episode
Thank you for
11.
liking, for sharing,
oh my
for all
God,
the good
episode
comments.
11?
Yeah, there's some very
was
good feedback
so
coming in.
overwhelmed.
Awesome. You guys are doing a very, very
Yeah.
good job.
So,
Although some guys said we were too serious.
In episode 11.
Serious pod, yeah.
Really?
Apparently.
We shall try to be more
we kind of
unserious.
levitate between, like we're always toggling between seriousness and
yeah, but
unseriousness.
the
And that's,
boys will try to be more unserious.
Oh, wow.
Or the boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the lady.
I get to bring the seriousness.
Really?
Yeah,
You're the
it's a lie.
serious.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
It's okay. It's okay.
Today, I'm not supposed to like lead the pod, right?
Yeah.
But you've already started confusing me. How was your week, Faisal?
Man, you've caught me off guard.
How was your week, Biwol?
Well, let him
Let me
first tell
just-
us.
My week was first week after Ramadan, so it's a bit, you don't know whether to do some things or not do some things.
Are
But you
there
end up
things
doing.
you were very sure you have to do?
It was just a confusing week, but
First, answer my question.
I did what I had to do.
Like what?
Yeah.
Things that needed to be done. were
Things that
done.
needed to be done were
Yeah.
done.
Period.
They tell you what happens in what?
In Vegas.
No, at X-Hub. Stays at
Now,
X-Hub.
Oh wow.
What happens at X-Hub stays at X-Hub.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
So there's this thing. Most of the time, I was talking to a workmate of mine. So most of the time when I talk about my parents, they live abroad. Yeah? The first thing people ask me is, "What are you doing here?"
I mean, what are you doing here?
You guys, do you know it's not easy to go to the US and just leave?
And just leave. What's that?
No, like first of all, it's expensive. Like it
Obviously.
doesn't. Just because your parents are abroad does not automatically mean they have money to take you abroad. Like you guys,
Yeah.
My parents are not government employees. We don't pay. You get. We are normal people. We are ordinary people. We are ordinary people. So bagina kuba cheyo. You understand? So like, I can't go there and then also become a what?
Name yaka joni muja cheyo now. So bagina no kuba cheyo.
Techina myaka.
By that piper you can fit in properly.
Let me tell you something. I would be the laziest person abroad.
This guy can
sell
survive.
drugs.
You can't sell drugs.
Have you seen yourself through a mirror? Bro.
You fit
look like
in.
you
I am
on
like
the corner.
people who consume the drugs.
You look like you stand on a corner.
Over your
and get
warrant, you will
business.
consume your stove.
No. First of all, I fear violence. Like guys, I have friends of mine who I don't speak to anymore because I saw them with a gun in the car. Like, you have a gun? Peace.
Yeah.
You get that is how much of a coward I am. So that's why I said nature, the US, Chandi name. Second, I'm always getting fluke off.
Kati goja kufa bufi. Winter will kill you.
Abambuza, why are you here? Uganda, we have 56 lakes.
Yeah.
You remember? I almost told you guys we have 56 lakes. We have the biggest lake. We have very beautiful
To planting season.
Sicho?
Yeah.
Sicho?
You see my face.
Which is how was your week?
First wait.
And we're also constant with our presidents. Like we never change. Like
Yeah,
I mean, move forward.
Why change the
we don't
president?
want confusion.
Just give one
We
guy
just
job
want-
and chill.
Can you imagine? You know, kids in school no longer answer, "Who's your former president?"
It's
Like
not
that
that- you don't
question,
ask.
they no longer set it.
You know, you go for SST,
Who's the
you know
same
you
guy?
have to pass one question. Who's the president?
Who's the
of Uganda?
president? That is it.
So
man,
sure,
there's
if
so many
you fail
things,
that
man.
question, how dumb are you?
So many things to love about this country, man.
Tell us.
First wait,
Mutuza,
and
tell
I
us.
tell you guys. Claire just sent me a message. A female cat is called a queen or a kitten.
So a kitty.
So
Whichever, both are correct.
but like,
So pussy is wrong, basically.
you just
What?
wanted to say the
No,
word.
I'm just asking. No, I'm asking. You mentioned
What
it.
did you say? Say it again.
It is
Pussy,
okay
let's
to
just-
ask, guys.
Yeah.
Puss.
Let me tell you something.
Okay, go on. Huh?
When like God was very, very little, my parents have animals. Like I grew up with a cat, a dog, there's cows, there's goats, there's rabbits, and Crown used to love the cat so much. Like she'd have scratches all over her body because they would always be
Yeah.
fighting. And then she would start like in the compound, it would be like in the compound, many people. And then she'd start running after the cat and she's saying, "Pussy, pussy, mommy, tell the pussy to come." Pussy.
The pussy was not
You
coming,
guys
my
have
guy.
messed up mind.
I'm not joking.
You ever
Mind of an innocent child.
You ever told the pussy to come? I don't know why I'm feeling.
You know what? I hope Crown can't watch this
Oh
episode.
This
man.
I hope on that iPad you block this
No,
episode.
I-
but you
on
didn't
her
answer my
iPad, she
question.
can't
no,
access it.
I'm not going to answer it.
But
I hope our account is educated. Yeah, because
No, but imagine calling a pussy and it's not coming.
And
You know
like,
how hard
you know
it is.
that-
that's frustrating.
Very
there would be that
frustrating.
awkward silence of
What's happening here? All the adults are like,
like,
shit.
and like we
the
don't know
kid
what
is
to tell
innocent,
her. Yeah,
Bambi.
like no one knows whether they should stop her from saying
Don't.
the word
Childhood
because
innocence should not be
So we would
ruined.
like, and then. And like here we would be telling her, the pussy is going to come and but like in your head. Anyway, my
was your
week,
week?
I had a very long week. I had a very, very long week. I've not been so fine. I had to go up country and back. Crown there's a very bad flu strain or whatever that's
What's going
putting
around?
kids down. Like,
Oh, really?
we thought she has like typhoid or something
What?
like that, like temperature, sweating, weak. And then we go to hospital and they said, no malaria, no typhoid, no bacteria, because usually you'd expect that it has a bacteria infection, nothing. And the doctor was like, yeah, just take her home and
give her fluids,
whatever,
and she'll be fine.
I was like,
and that was it.
Flu almost killed that child. Like, what do you mean? The doctor is like, yeah, there's a bad strain moving around. So if you're a parent watching this, I hope your babies are protected, though they are fine. Other than that, school and it's nothing eventful. Yeah, the usual.
Let me ask, but is it like really scary when your kid is sick?
I think scary is an understatement. Yeah. And me, I'm not a parent, but really sometimes you talk to somebody when, let's say, they've come from the hospital, they're going to the hospital, and the mom's mind is just all over the place. She can't function. She's like, shit, my child is shit. And for you decide, you're like,
but you're overreacting.
But man, as a mother, when your kid is convulsing and whatever, everything ceases to make sense around you.
Yeah, and it's even worse if you're not living with your kid and they're like just giving you updates. And like your mind will convince you but they're just trying, because now my mom does it. Like my mom has this mentality of, you're at school, so we don't want to stress you. So then when she's being honest about it, I'm like,
is that something you're not telling me?
What are you not
telling me?
Are you
seeing Faisal's face? It's like his mind is racing in between having a kid or not. Like, can I handle this pressure?
By the way.
Like, can I handle
the
this
reason
pressure?
why I'm asking is, as you're talking through my week, there's a Snapchat video I saw, and someone went for a brunch with their child.
The
and
brunch.
they were smoking shisha,
Oh,
what?
no.
And they were literally smoking, and the baby's there, and they're like,
were they
their
like
friends are
arrested?
around.
Oh, no. Yeah,
And the whole time I'm like,
that shouldn't be happening.
Like,
But
my God,
which place is that allows that kid in?
Modern day parenting is a mess.
Like that place was in Kampala?
yeah, in Kampala.
That's
Really?
insane.
Parents want to be cool, hang with
That's
their
not
kids.
being cool, by the way. That's
But what
being
do you do in
stupid.
a situation like that? Like if you found your friend with their child in the bar, would you
First
bounce there?
of all, the
I'm
establishment
happy.
is an establishment that's a bar that's serving alcohol should not admit
not
anybody with
allow.
a child. That's the first thing.
Anyone below 18 actually should not be permitted
be
in those places.
But
Right?
you guys have seen people bring kids to like blankets and wine.
But that's like such
And you
a
know
day
how-
event.
That's a day
That's a
event.
day
Also,
event.
the
also
way
that
you
by
present
6
your-
p.m.
at 7
No,
p.m.
but no.
Blankets
That
at
will come
7
for
p.m.
Italy,
Yeah.
and then
Gets
by
open
6
at
p.m.
12 p.m.
they take their kids home, and then you can
because
come back and
I
party.
think like the last blanket even had a
So you take your
kids play area and
kids
whatever.
play
Take your kid
area.
to like blankets conscience version.
You see that those things happen in the
Because
day.
conscience is
Also,
going
if
to
you're-
perform at 11 p.m.
If you're still at blankets with your
Right?
child at 11, you
11.
also have
There's
a
a problem,
problem.
really.
Hey.
But let me tell you,
it was
I'm
a
glad my
rugby club.
parents
They took the child to a rugby club.
still.
And people were smoking all over, drinking, and the baby
And
was there.
that's-
And the whole time I was
it's very
like, man.
problematic. That's
Okay.
very problematic.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't think any of my friends would do that, because then I would
Yeah, you'd
kill
go for
them.
them.
What do you mean?
Bill, how was your week?
My week was pretty ordinary as
First
well.
of all, what are you dressed?
Very busy.
What are you dressed in?
Yeah, this guy is dressed like those warriors who have come for Sheikh Ramadan Mubarak. Chichi, what?
I am a warrior, that's for sure.
So you want to attack Allah's man?
No, but somebody has to bring some style to the pod, really.
Oh,
Yeah, somebody has to do this.
So the
And
wow.
By the way,
Mutuzo does the heavy lifting, so I'm trying to help
Of
her.
all people, why I would think of Mutuzo.
Yeah, because she does all the heavy lifting. For us, we're just
by the
chill.
way, I have
we
this
come in
thing
our
in
easy,
black and white.
we come in our easy
You do?
t-shirts and
Yeah.
do-
Does
see?
it also,
want to
does it
wear
also
now?
come with its own watermelon socks, like bananas?
Watermelons.
And you know, someone mentioned on the pod that we always have ugly socks. Like, I
May I always have
No,
happy socks.
I think they meant
Me
to be
always
one.
always have happy socks. And if you watch this pod over and over, you'll realize that every week I have a different pair. I will never repeat the same pair on this pod.
Eh, watu gamba.
Yeah.
I don't gamble in a pay and card.
As I said, somebody
I'm
has
sorry.
to bring some
Hold
fashion.
up. Faiza said something.
What did I say?
Faiza said.
Say it with your chest.
You've been changing.
I will. Yeah, how
Changing
you
what?
say it? You've been changing your socks like you change your women.
Oh my God.
They were not my words. Faiza said it.
Producer, edit that part out.
Do
You
not.
are killing my street
Do not
cred. I am a decent man. I don't know what these people are talking
Bro,
about.
that's an
The only thing I change are the
I
socks.
only said what Faisal said.
But I can't even change women. I don't have a woman. So what's there to
That's the
change?
thing.
You have men. You don't have a woman. But you have
Producer,
women.
what did City say? Producer.
You have women, not a woman.
Okay, we cut the wheel. You have men.
Tuchite. My week was chill. Yeah, my week was chill.
Man-
Changing socks.
Busy though, just a lot of work and stuff like that.
Some money.
No, work doesn't mean being paid. You see me with this laptop here. By the way, and I was with it also on the last pod, that sometimes when I'm here, we are having this chivozi, I am low-key working. So there's work that I have to be doing while I'm on the pod, and I love it. This way I love the work that I do. I can do it anywhere at any time during fun moments.
Even when you're changing socks and the other
Yes.
things, you can just be there.
These are the M Global guys.
So that's what's up. How was your week, you motherfucker?
Bernard. So you're telling me you've never worked for M Global?
I don't even know what that. What's
What
that?
is M Global?
What's M Global?
It's okay. Let's move on.
The guys,
No, what is it?
the guys
No,
of
like
bring
gin.
2 of your friends, then your friends bring 4, then what? You start earning
Because
from
they're
there.
always walking around with a laptop.
Those guys
I
can
think they're always
walk.
HP laptops.
I don't know who they are.
Bewol. You have it.
They usually have like dust
Do I have
all
one?
over, like the lower side of the pants, like from here all the way down,
Are they like preachers or some shit like that?
like semi
You could
preachers.
call
Bringing
them
Jehovah's
that.
Witnesses.
I don't know.
Because, but I would call them semi preachers, because those guys, if they phoned you, if they walked in like here now, when we
You'd
are
all
filming this
buy.
pod, bro, we would all buy.
M Global guys are those guys of come, buy products from us, bring more people. They buy products. That money goes to yours. If those people buy products, even that money goes like that.
That
Kind of
network
like a
marketing.
pyramid scheme.
It's
Yeah.
a whole pyramid
Yeah,
scheme, man.
that's
And they
that's
just
rubbish.
uncovered one. I think I've forgotten the district, but they just uncovered one where so it was like human trafficking. Like they get one person, you get 2 people, 3.
Yeah.
So by the time you're 10 guys, they lock you guys up,
What the hell?
They
they
take you.
export you.
Oh my goodness.
And it
How was
started-
your week, Aine?
Damn. My week was interesting. However,
Of course.
Always.
Always.
no, guys, listen. So I realized I was actually getting old. In one way
Oh,
or
you're
the
just
other.
realizing now.
Yeah, I'm just realizing now. And I've noticed a couple of things that have happened to me. And this in particular was in a supermarket. I don't know if you guys have been in a situation whereby you go to a supermarket where you usually do your grocery shopping, especially for the guys. Women usually have so many places they do their shopping from. But we guys, we have like one specific place. If you leave your home, it's one
Yeah,
specific
there's-
supermarket.
Yeah.
So I go to the supermarket where I do my shopping, and I realized where I used to pick rice from was not there. So
As in, there was no rice.
like the section where I
Yeah.
used to pick rice from.
Yeah.
You know how you walk in
Yes,
and
and
you
you
know
know
the other
where-
section.
yes.
I'm going to
Which
pick rice.
supermarket was this?
I don't mention
Tabasa
it.
Sudekala.
No,
So-
like I want building the story in my head.
But don't mention it. You mention it off air.
You remember where I met you on Eid? Aha,
Go on.
perfect. So yeah, so I walk in. There's no rice. These guys have put milk.
Milk.
So I'm mad. So I asked one of the guys, "Where is the rice?" It was literally the other side of the supermarket.
They switched things
So
up.
just the mere idea of me moving from where I was supposed to pick the rice from and go to another shelf pissed me off. So I realized I was getting old. 2,
This is why girls ask you for transport money.
that's why I don't deal with people who ask for transport money. 2, I've also noticed I'm developing a high tolerance for, let me look for the right English word because I don't want to sound so mean. Non-attractive
mean.
people.
Oh.
Non-attractive people have disorganized me in a way. I feel like 1, they're always in need. They're always asking for something.
This
Guys,
is
don't
very
cancel
interesting.
us.
I
Go
don't
on.
get it. Like
First-
you have a high
first,
tolerance for
like-
non-attractive. Like you don't want to talk to people. who
I
are
don't
not
want to
nice
talk.
looking.
Yeah. Like,
Guys, don't cancel us.
Oh.
I'm
This,
so impatient. No, this is
can
me.
cancel him
This has
alone.
nothing to do with the podcast. I'm developing the impatience of dealing with unattractive people. That's it.
Why is this? Why?
I
Where
don't know.
did that
I don't know
come
where it's
from?
coming from, but
It has
I
got
just
to be
I just
anchored
find
somewhere.
them needy all the time.
So attractive people are okay.
Attractive people, are okay.
So
Yeah.
who?
Let me tell you
But
about.
that's
Let
a
me tell you
very- that's a
about.
very
Let me tell you
wild
about
take.
attractive people.
That's a
They are
very
smart
wild
for
take.
starters.
Smart, like in terms of presentation.
In terms of presentation, they're always like on the internet googling like some random shit, like some random facts. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Work with me.
You know what you're doing. Oh my God.
Why are you being violent? See, meanwhile, I'm fixing this. Guys, producer, this thing need to stop.
Okay, all right.
What's happening here? There's something.
You don't know.
It's just an
saying
inside
you're
joke.
not
You won't
allowed
tell
to
you.
Yeah,
about
again.
smart,
Yeah,
attractive
smart
people.
people.
You're not allowed here
Like, there's
again.
some
Yeah, but-
things. There's some
but
things
see
they will
now.
tell you. Let me
now.
tell you for starters. Me, the other day, Michelle was telling us about how women used to have orgasms and shit. I'm the orgasm guy. Like, that's the shit I would want to know. But I didn't know that until I found out where it was coming from. You get? So there's something about smart people, and being attractive.
But my question is,
You ask.
because now you seem to have thrown all unattractive. You say what did you use? You used
Unattractive, yeah.
You seem to have thrown all of them under the bus.
Yeah.
And my first question to you is, you're working with the assumption that you're in the category of
Attractive.
which you know.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I know me. I don't need to be anywhere. I don't need to be on either
because
side.
aren't you demanding of other people to be attractive?
Yeah, but unlike Paul's attract.
Okay.
Work with me, bro.
So you are saying you're not attractive.
I don't know. That's for the viewers to tell.
But for you, when you see in the mirror, you're like, this is how is
Consummate! Oh my God.
No, but guys who are watching, the views that are being expressed, right? Do not represent the views of
Guys, you don't need to say that twice. They know it's me who has been talking.
No, we're going to be judged by those guys. And they'll be like, first look at yourselves. Then you'll see now.
Why are you worried about how you look like?
I'm just saying.
I feel like Aine might have, there's some bit of, I'm not going to say bit of truth, but the truth is there's a way Kampala handles attractive.
No, the whole world over. People who are aesthetically
Something called pretty privilege.
naturally, better looking people get better opportunities around the world. That's it. But you don't have to shove it down the throats of the people who are unattractive.
Guys,
I didn't mention any names.
No, you didn't need to.
If you look at yourself in the mirror and you realize you're unattractive, it's on you. It's not on me.
But I feel like this happened
attractive
from
person.
somewhere. Who pissed you off?
Stay with it.
It is a very personal story.
It's a very personal story.
It's a very personal
But-
story.
That's why I want to know more.
Let's call a spade a spade. Unattractive is unattractive.
According to you.
I am not saying be all you're unattractive or you're attractive. I'm not saying pipe.
No, I get
I'm
it.
not mentioning any names.
Yes, but according to you.
So if you look yourself in the mirror and you don't like what you
everybody likes what they on average, right?
Chai wange aweddemu because onaganye
These are the guys making chicks go to get random,
BBL, what?
but haven't they benefited from it?
guys.
It's not a
But
bad
I've
thing.
always wanted to know.
It's a
wrap
good
up.
thing.
How was your week?
I've always wanted, no, first way, before you leave this, I've always wanted to know. How do they do those BBLs? Like, how does
I
the
don't know.
ass
They
become
put
bigger?
silicone. Is it called silicone? They put like
silicone,
silicone
yeah,
or
it's
something
silicone.
like that.
Someone said, but they cut extra fat from your body and then they
For some procedures,
Some,
they
but
can
some
remove
they
flesh
put
from one
silicone.
part of the body.
Let's Google for us.
They
now.
can,
How does a BBL work?
let's leave it. Let's leave that.
Or
somewhere.
in the
I really
body.
want to
As
know.
they
You'll
Google,
know
as they
after
Google.
the
But you
pod.
guys, did you know that finally we witnessed peaceful handover of power
Oh yeah.
in Uganda
Yeah, man.
as a country? Like it finally happened.
That was a big deal.
It cost us 430
That was it.
billion shillings.
But it happened.
Bro,
And also-
you know, initially it was close to 700 bar.
Yeah, so what I was going to say is the official figure is that.
How is that
Yeah.
peaceful
But the actual
that
figure-
every Ugandan now has to contribute to paying back 430
It happened.
billion
I'm focused
shillings?
more on the
Yeah.
positives. Had you ever seen peaceful handover of power?
Okay.
Ever since you
Ever since we were born.
But
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys have been going through this whole power going off thing, but where I live, the load shedding has become wild, bro. Back then,
I don't even know how
you
it
knew
hasn't
just
gone
in a
off
couple
yet.
of hours it goes, it comes back. But now,
In
it can go and takes
bro.
like 18 hours, bro.
You guys in Nigeria, eh? You're no longer in Kampala.
Me, I'm actually in, my place is actually a bit fair because there's some wealthy guy who lives there. And
You still in
makes
Bulindo?
I'm in a different place.
Chitukutwe.
Yeah, but
Outside Nigeria,
but overdo it.
I was in Nigeria to go to Excel, bro. It took me 30 minutes from Yusuf to Nigeria
I don't
because
miss
of the
it
road.
at all.
Like the road is now a trench. Like I want you to understand, there's no road to Nigeria anymore. It is just a trench. You start from where Nexus used to be. From where Nexus used to be.
What is there to be said that you don't know?
I've not been there in such a long time.
Even border guys now charge more money.
So same
if
thing.
you tell him you're going to Nigeria, my G is 10K.
But also a guy who lives in Nigeria or Chira doesn't choose borders nowadays. You can't choose a border because
So how do they get to?
it's got to be either an Uber or a taxi or
they
a
work?
car, basically. Because on the border, let me tell you, when you sit on the border, you must have changing clothes in the bag.
Uber, Nigeria guys and Uber.
Yeah? You can't sit on the border.
I had a privilege of looking at, some of the records, given the fact that I was an ambassador for a transportation company that I'm not going to mention. And I can assure you, Nigeria and Ubers, it's a challenge. Especially Nigeria Mail, it's a challenge.
Chira, okay.
Those guys are too gangster, and this is what I like about them. They'll dress up. See how you dressed up? Grab the bike with your backpack.
That's how you
That's the only way.
With your
Changing clothes.
from Nigeria.
So you get where you're going. You put on your changing clothes
if-
and you're good to go.
Yeah, if you have a backpack, it's fine. If you're going to the bar,
Do you know how
with
much?
a backpack?
Do you know how much an Uber is?
What is this?
You see you
But
guys here with your bags in the bar.
Haven't you reached
Or your
gardens?
abavude ku mulimu.
Haven't you reached
Simple.
gardens? Ngawaliwensa wao.
Yes, nava ku mulimu. Yes, but when you're leaving home, you pack a bag. Are you mad?
But you
Mulimu wafuuka fashionista. Ate muli laptop mulimu ngoye. Mulimu yaye. Isembera
Ageze kwawe match.
Back to you this year, guys.
It's like a bad time to show off that I really do not know what.
No, it's okay to not know. It's fine. It's okay to not know.
but it's okay.
fine.
I wanted to
it's
know.
okay. We get it.
And you're talking to the people who know you, so it's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah. Maybe other guys might argue in the comment section.
I don't know what.
It's okay. But you live
God
in Kampala.
has been
Think we have a Ford
faithful.
Poncho.
Chite.
Moving
Moving on.
We know what is happening to
Is this a bad time to say I come from Kisoro?
but which road do you use to go to Kisoro?
My friend, the road I used to go to Kisoro, it's the only thing probably NRM has done in this government. It's a beautiful
Yeah, but from
road.
Kampala to Ford, that road is
It's
also nasty
so
right
cool.
now.
Actually, there should be like people, I don't know, I can't protest, I'm a coward, but I don't know, something needs to be done about that Fort Porter Road. I think it's been that bad for like years. And you know the funniest bit about the Fort Porter Road? They work on it in sections, right? They'll work from like Fort Porter to Chenjojo. And then when they start, and then like the rest of the place will be so bad.
I know.
So when they start working from Chenjojo to like Mubende, Fort Porter to Chenjojo starts getting
You
ruined.
guys wanted the job.
Like, oh my God. Like,
But it's also-
Nabatoro
like
wanted
for
the
10
jobs.
years.
Yeah,
What
and
are you trying to
it's
say?
also-
Batoro take their time.
Those guys are, what are they called?
We understood
Chinese or whatever.
that.
So they
But the
are
Batoro
they
wanted
are
the
their own
By the way,
problem
in
towards
the next
drag
10
it.
years,
Don't drag
in the next 10
people.
years, Toro is going to be Chinese.
Now check.
China Toro. Because the rate at which those China guys are getting those women pregnant.
Yeah.
You've seen the stories. You're
Yeah.
from there, so you have seen.
I tell you the worst bit is they get you pregnant and sweet,
They abandon you.
they go back home.
Hey, you thought because it's Chinese, it's not like a man.
Hey, so what are you saying about
No,
me?
no. What
Toxicity
I'm
cuts
saying,
across.
it cuts
All
across. But
races.
no,
Like,
you
of all
see,
people, Mutiza shouldn't be.
no, I'm actually not shocked.
No, she's not.
The sad bit is most people, when they see white man, Chinese, they
they
have
just
a
assume
feeling,
that-
they assume
Yeah.
that they will do better.
Yeah.
You get pregnant, his project ends.
He goes back.
Men are
Single
dogs
mother
across the
and you
board.
join
They
us.
just bark in different languages.
No, but
We're all
you know the
dogs.
beauty about dogs. Dogs are fucking loyal. You
That
know
is
it.
true.
As long as you feed them,
Guys, come back to
Transfer
loyal.
of power. Light.
Do you guys think? Sorry, you were saying?
No, I was just saying light, yaka
For me,
Light
the
up
whole
your world
light thing, it
is
just
refusing
doesn't
to
work for
catch
me.
on.
It's
Now,
not-
here's my question.
It's not clicking.
When they had just brought yaka, did it immediately click? Or it took people a minute to like get...
Well, okay, I get that point. I get that
For
point.
For
yeah.
context, guys, UEDCL just took over Umeme, But I think one of the resources or one of the properties they were not allowed to buy was the word yaka. So they've changed the word yaka to light. If you've seen your USSID, you've tried to pay for power, or has the word also changed on the meter?
I really no.
No,
There's still behind the scenes things that are happening.
Basically, the word yaka came and went in under the same what do they call it? Presidency.
It's a president so coach.
I don't know.
The same regime.
So,
Under the same regime, yes.
What did I?
We are even getting new words.
President's
So the new word now is light.
You know, for me, my problem with light is, first of all, one, it's a lazy word.
Light.
Yeah, it's very non-creative. That's A.
Light.
Then B, yes, extremely. Then B.
Man, you've abused the whole tribe. Because I know people.
No. The light.
People light.
Hey, light. It's a
The
very lazy
son's
word.
name is Light.
I felt like if they had given good money to a branding company or some creatives to sit down and come up with an idea, light wouldn't be it. That one I can guarantee.
What would you suggest? Just random.
Are you going to pay me? Because this is billable information.
I mean, if they
might
take
use.
it, they'll have to pay.
I'll tell you off the pod. I'll give you an idea off the pod. But that's one. I think it's lazy. But then two, I feel like everything that has happened, this transfer of power, has been done in a very haphazard manner.
Yeah, true.
It's been very shoddy. It's been because they're trying to chase deadlines and whatever.
Pressure.
And then they had that event where they were officially, I don't know, switching, and it was all poorly done.
The one that was at Lugogo,
Yes.
Uma Showgrounds.
Was it Uma?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Uma Showgrounds.
it was poorly done. The aesthetics were horrible. It looked bad. I'm like, you guys have the money to pull off a fairly decent thing. Like, if you have food that is bad, at least let the plate look good. The food is ugly. The plate is horrible, right? So even people who are seeing, if somebody wanted to invest and that is what they are showed, they'll be like, I can't invest. This looks like a poor job. So everything was very horrible. I saw the minister saying, is it what? We've transferred. Now the invoices are going to change to you. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It looked very horrible. It was a poor job.
Yeah, I think there was a group of like Jamas in the boardroom, and they told them, guys, we need something to replace
Chap,
your
chap.
car.
But they knew all along that this was coming. For me, this is what they've known it for years.
They could have known, but they were not prepared enough.
How would you not be?
But guys,
Stop making excuses.
I feel like first of all, for an audience like a Ugandan audience, you know how our people love simple, plain things. Yeah, the word yaka, when it came, obviously it wasn't so obvious, but yaka, it became so obvious. I think anyone in any tribe can pronounce the word yaka.
Not right.
Now.
We buy right.
Go on. They are going to be calling it right.
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 Right. What do you do to such a person?
What is?
Because
they're not wrong.
Because they're not. Yes. Omugambye. Mtuzo yona drink Tascalite. Ngambye nterako light wo mutwalo.
So how do they say it in your language?
Banzo tere ho light yo mutwalo.
Right.
Right. It is right.
Is it right? Omwana kwereza ibere zikufuka. Cold.
Anyway, so I when it comes to the word light, I feel like just like you, okay, they really should have thought about this, because there are some tribes that are going to have a hard time buying right. Because imagine you're now calling
you're saying right. It in English. You're saying right. Say it in like right.
The ones who exchange L and R.
And right.
Do they have a customer care line? I would love to call it.
But
and just say, I need to order some right. Because we need to understand whether these people are ready for us. Yeah?
I think it's in these moments where I feel like I'm the unserious Ugandan. Because I saw the, yaka is now changing to light. And I swear, I wasn't bothered one bit. like it was like that situation of.
So, wait,
what are you
accent.
calling?
We want to order for right.
Who are you calling?
What are we doing? How do you call for right? How do you order for right?
Who are you calling?
Like
who is this here? We want to order for right.
To ask what?
No, we want right.
No one is going to pick.
They cannot pick.
Auntie, this is. I want to know whether these people are ready for
No one is going to pick.
Because I would call Umeme and they pick up.
Yeah.
No one is going to pick.
Have you tried calling them now? If you try calling Umeme, do you think
they would call them at 11 by the way,
me.
and they would pick up.
Guys, just
It's
pray.
past working hours on Friday.
Let me tell you, remember they would
Leave
pick up
people,
at 11. They would even send you someone.
Yeah, no one is going to pick up.
Kati abara iti byayanga.
Did you guys see that driver who said mbuye ekigundi ekimotoka kya umeme agenda kisigaza? Mwamulabi. Some guy was on TikTok saying, now that umeme has handed over, those are kino ekimotoka agenda kisigaza. And
But you know, for
truck
me,
was
the
branded
thing-
umeme. And I'm thinking, what are
thing-
the chances that UEDCL is going to look for this guy?
The entire thing reeks of poor workmanship, and apart from that, the history of umeme, it's not painted well, right? It's been horrible. But when this government was doing the research about privatizing UEB back in the day, the lawyers that were hired, right? The advisors that were hired, the consultants that were hired,
The Attorney General
were working for a company that eventually is the one that formed Umeme. That's the first shocking news people don't know. That the government, the government hires you and says, advise us on how we should proceed with this UEB. But you who has been hired, you work for a company that is putting in a bid for that same. So that's and then secondly,
And
that
Bambi,
company
that's
was formed about 4 weeks before the signing of
Yeah, I saw that.
of that contract. The company
But
that managed that whole Umeme.
do you think this is something we've taken into every other parastatal? Because there's now the Uganda Uganda Airlines flight. So
Bro,
our people
the Lubowa
Actually,
hospital should be
Ugandans
the
are
best
accepted.
example in regards to this woman
There's
situation.
this
No.
guy. There's this guy in Dar es Salaam. He was complaining. So he's like, "Dear Uganda Airlines, you have passengers stranded in Dar es Salaam. The flight was previously scheduled for Thursday 3 p.m. Then, without explanation, rescheduled to Friday 7
What
p.m.
the hell?
Yeah,
and now
they did it
11:30
again.
p.m. What's
What?
going on?" And then like one, I don't know whether it's an official or one of the guys in the plane or whatever, Paul Mutanga, replied with, "Attention please, attention to all passengers traveling on Uganda Airlines from Dar es Salaam to my god, like a pilot, from Dar es Salaam to Entebbe. We are using the plane for a working visit in South Sudan. We are working round the clock and do apologize for any inconveniences."
What the hell?
Hey man, they made us seem like as if we have one plane. Bro, we have been here buying planes. The other day I was reading a report from the Civil Aviation Authority, and they were saying we had made billions of profits in regards to, the few flights that we are getting ourselves into. And that man has the guts of saying that we used the plane for
for
ABCD
work
in
visit.
South.
Like
We
that,
have one
the
plane.
government have to
know?
go to South Sudan, guys. You have
Do
to
you know-
respect the officials.
Do you know that I don't want to say all Ugandans, but like as Ugandans, we have normalized accepting the bottom barrel.
Mediocrity is the word
Not
you're
mid,
looking
not
for.
no no
It's
no
not,
no.
even,
Worse than
it's not
mediocrity.
even mediocrity. It's
Bottom
worse.
barrel of basement.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, those guys waited. They waited and nothing will happen. They will not ask for like account because
Compensation.
because there's some airlines, if that happened, you would compensate
there are
people.
refunds, there's what, there's-
refunds. They
Which Ugandan
if
government?
not,
Of course, yeah, it's
exactly.
not
Like
happening.
if that didn't happen, there would
Yeah.
be lawsuits. Like
Yeah,
those people will take responsibility.
yeah, yeah.
Uganda, you don't know why your flight was cancelled. Obo badogenda
By
fire
the, if you're going to sign a business deal that
like,
was
it
deadline
does-
sensitive,
Guamanyi.
if you
Guamanyi, and there's someone, not even Uganda Airlines itself, giving this communication. You're
Just a
finding
random person.
out randomly on social media, like, oh,
let
but
me
we're
check the
sorry,
Uganda
guys,
Airlines
but
account
like,
if they said anything.
Twagenze,
Because
we are in South Sudan.
you
We are
can't
sorry,
just-
we are trying. But
Are you guys seeing
and
how
you're
nice
like-
it is being a government employee?
How nice it is.
Yeah, like you first pick for everything.
And I'm
You
telling
can't tell me
you,
you guys who haven't fantasized about being a government
we can
employee.
fantasize about it.
They haven't said anything.
I fantasize about
what
it.
what what what
I know
what
it.
what would you want? What would you want, Mtuzo?
I'm not
What
correct.
if you were a government employee, right? Like you're on the government payroll. What do you think? What would you want? Like if you were a government employee, what would be your goal? Would it be to earn your salary, or would it be service delivery?
Service delivery.
Are you being honest?
I am being
What
very,
would your
very
goal be,
honest.
Faizo? Faizo, what
Let
would
me
your
first
goal
wait.
be?
Let me tell you something. Do you know This is my problem with government employees, by the way.
Paper is
There's
paper.
a possibility.
You're a government employee. They don't allow this here.
But no, but
In the event that they could, but
Yeah,
let me
they
tell
don't.
you, I feel like
You have
there's
to
a
be
possibility
well-kept.
where you can
Beard.
eat some
Beard, I don't know.
and
but-
deliver.
still get work
You
done,
get
yeah.
and deliver.
Yeah.
My problem with our current government officials is they only want to eat, and then when they eat, they don't want to eat kokatono.
Yeah, they want to eat a lot.
to go all out. There is that thing in business where they say maximize it, like you oliako katono, but like you get that way you get many.
You maximize profits.
You
basically.
get like many clients instead of like getting one client that you're going to drain
yeah.
completely, because eventually
You
that
get
one
many and
client
then you
get
eat from-
many ngojako tano
Katono,
tano
tono.
tano. You
Yeah,
get.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. In like, I wouldn't want to go to government to like rob money. But if you're there and you really want to, you can't help your hands and your accounts. You really like you can take, but at the
Leave
very
something
least,
for
let
work.
people have medicine. Or watch together. Let people have a good road. Let us have rates.
Aine, for you, if you're a government employee, what would your target be?
In between what and what? Service
Making
delivery.
money, which is there available, making money, or service delivery?
Making money, my guy.
Faizo, what would your target be? If you were a government employee.
Piper, just say it. Just
Forget it, it's
say
okay. It is.
Well, I don't know.
I'm in the same
You
WhatsApp
can tell
group
us.
with Piper. He's actually my admin.
You know why I'm finding it hard? Because I might be a government employee in future.
Someday. It's okay.
No, but
Okay, based off the current life I live now, I'm involved in charity. Like even the department I handle at work is
Yeah.
a charity department. Like my usual 9 to 5 is figuring out who are we going to help, who are we not going to help.
Impactful stuff. Yeah.
But what can
Right
I
now,
do to be
I've
helped?
been doing the Kabaka birthday run,
yeah.
and I've sold a lot of kits.
You guys are doing a good job,
And
actually.
it hasn't
Oh, yeah,
even hit me to be
congratulations.
like, let me
Are we going to
skim some
run?
money
Like
off of this.
nothing serious?
Huh?
Are we going to run?
We
guys,
might be
no,
humble.
no, 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 no.
Listen, we might be
Guys.
humble.
But definitely.
Isn't the run like
Guys,
a
all marathons I've
6 a.m.
attended, I'm not going to lie. I've been in that state. I don't want to mention it. but I have run and I have made it to the
If you
finish
guys are
line.
coming, I love kits for you. But
Faizo.
for this
Claire,
project,
you love these things. You want to run?
So what about here? Claire Mleke.
Cut
Faizo, I'ma tell us.
that cut out. Jose!
I'ma
cut
Faizo,
it out.
proceed.
so I'm saying it involved collecting a lot of money. But not at any one point in time have I been like, let me eat some of this.
Sanfuneko.
Yeah. So it becomes hard for you can't.
Because I feel terrible, but also because, man, it's the Kabaka's money. Like, you might run mad, you
It's
get-
not really his money per se, but yeah,
But the cause is dear to me.
Yeah.
It's HIV, and HIV by 2030. So even when I feel like I don't need to sell kits, I'm like, let me get out there, sell some, so that I can make more money. So that
Yeah.
the cause
It's for a
is
good
actually,
cause, yeah.
you get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I feel like I would gravitate towards service.
Yeah,
delivery.
service
A good cause.
delivery, yeah.
But on
Really
the
what
other
I'm
hand, just to
doing.
supplement what Piper is saying in relation to our officials, our government officials, I think at the end of the day, service delivery is the most important thing. I wouldn't mind, and I've said this before, I wouldn't mind, if the leaders are embezzling funds or they are doing whatever they are
Yeah.
doing, but as long as I can move from here and drive to Fort Portal without going through that messy road, which has been like that for more than, I think, 3 years. You can imagine. I wouldn't mind if I woke up and they said, these guys, they took iron sheets that were meant for Karamoja. But then guys in Karamoja, they have medicine, they have good schools going on. I wouldn't
Like
mind.
things are happening, yeah.
When things are happening, that means that you are taking care of the people. So for me, I think at the end of the day, despite it being an issue of how the service is being delivered to the people, it also goes back to our leaders. What do they want?
Yeah.
What do they prioritize? Like you're saying, like the question you're asking, would you go in for the money or service delivery? I wouldn't have a problem even if they woke up tomorrow and they said Uganda is now a monarchy. We're going to have one leader until we die.
But if services are reaching
Yeah.
people,
If you got sick now, can we take you to hospital and you get all the treatment you need? If Piper needed to do ABCD, can he do it easily without going through the bureaucracy, this whole, envelope under the table? Like we have seen cases. I wouldn't mind that.
I think for me, just to kind of wrap up, my thoughts or whatever, I think Uganda is a broken society. It's a broken society. and it's dysfunctional in the sense that in that dysfunction is where people find functionality, which is very strange. That if you are the kind of person who will never pay bribes, you will never succeed. If you're the kind of person who can't be corrupt, you can't succeed.
But how did we get there?
Because the system is set up.
That's what messes me up. How did we get there?
So if
because I don't believe that's how we were 100 years ago.
Because
that's not how we were in the 80s.
We sold
in the
people in
80s.
slavery.
Listen. If you say you want to get a certain contract from the government, right? And you say, me, I'm not going to bribe anybody today. My work will speak for itself. Your work will yell, and no one will hear it. Right?
Oh, guys,
right? And no one will hear it. So you have to be
about-
able to bribe. And that's the dysfunction that we have in this country. And it cuts across everywhere, in school, in hospital.
So while you're talking about that, I think earlier on we were talking about two items of the budget that we were trying to compare that to us it didn't make sense, but maybe, just maybe, to people out there it might make sense. But yeah, you give us the two items.
National Referral Hospital has been allocated only 17.756 billion shillings for the purchase of specialized medical supplies to treat the rest of Ugandans for the full year in 2025-26. Yet,
Pause. First, go back.
17.5 billion.
So Mulago is supposed to be the referral hospital.
It is actually.
I'm really saying supposed intentionally because I don't it has the title, but
you don't feel.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying supposed, but Mulago is the national referral hospital, which means the person in Karamoja and the person in Kisoro, the person in Hoima and the person in, I don't know what's in this, whatever, but like all those people, if they needed something that they can't get from their regional referral hospitals, Mulago is your
go-to hospital
end point, that if you don't get it in Mulago and you can't leave this country, it is over. So Mulago gets 70 what?
And just to add on to what you just said, that's why I'm so against the whole idea of a private wing in Mulago. Like, this is a national referral hospital. It's supposed to accommodate any Ugandan, no matter what emergency it is, no matter what sickness it is, you are supposed to get treatment. Now, why have a private wing? I don't know. I would prefer.
I think,
but then put that money somewhere else.
Listen,
privatize a couple of privatize a couple of other hospitals, but not a national referral, guys.
But even Mulago has to make money. The private wing is actually there for the hospital to make money. So
and that's why I'm saying.
You, because remember, wait.
If being a referral hospital,
let me come.
Why?
I'm coming. It being a national referral hospital means it has some of the best talent in the country. In that, even if you have money, there's for some cases you have to go to Mulago. Now that's where Mulago makes money from. By having a private wing, it's actually able to raise a lot more money to finance its operation.
But it being a national referral hospital,
my question is
doesn't mean
why
it
does
actually
it have
means you
to?
are not supposed to pay single coin. Piper.
Not necessarily.
Not in a country.
Thank you. Not in a country we are in.
I think it's supposed to be like affordable. Like what if you decide to pay?
It's not.
If you have to pay for a
let's go with
service, it's supposed to be very affordable.
But then
to everyone. Everyone.
Yeah, but you see, I think the argument.
This is where we go wrong with privatization, and that's why I have a problem with privatizing most of these government institutions and programs. Because now you're going to have a wing like one in Mulago, privately owned by someone, maybe say Piper.
Okay.
Piper is going to wake up and have different.
It's privately owned by government.
By government, yes. But what I'm saying is, now I'm looking at privatization as a whole umbrella. You know, in that government, there could be someone who's calling the shots. We don't know. It's possible.
There's always someone calling the shots.
Thank you so much. Now, this person calling for the shots might wake up and say, me, if you're coming to, maybe say treat maybe cancer or whatever it is, this is the amount you're supposed to be paying, which is wrong.
Yeah, I think the argument that Faisal was raising, which I somewhat understand, is that Mulago has got to have some form of sustainability, right? that you can't just be an institution that takes from the budget without any source of funding for yourself, because there are certain projects you must run as an institution that are not in the budget there, right? So you have to find that money somewhere. And setting up that private wing, what that does is, for you who wants top care at Mulago, but you don't want to be with everybody else. You don't want to you don't want to go through these paces as quote unquote the poor person would. It's okay, you can come, you can get the service, but you pay.
But then to me, it kills the whole idea of, being a national referral, where there shouldn't be segregation.
Guys.
That's not what a national referral hospital means.
We shall have this argument off camera. Because now we are going off track.
Let him first finish.
This is a facility that has been trusted to handle the most complicated cases in the country.
Absolutely.
Not that it's going to be for free. It's just that if you're in Gulu, if you're in Kapchora, if you're in Soroti, if you're where, the one place they will be sure to recommend you and they know you're going to get help is Mulago.
It's Mulago. That's what it means.
Yeah. So a doctor has leeway to say, you know what, things have failed here. First go to Mulago and see what's up.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
they do this,
guys,
if you fail from
we are
Mulago,
going off track. We are going off track.
Every
But
hospital.
guys, you get the gist of what Mulago
This is going
should
to be a nice conversation
or
after
what
this pod.
Mulago is to the country.
For that
and it's
Mulago
got
URA thing, I just thought I should throw in the fact that Mulago, for example, has I think like 1,700 beds, right? But they have about 3,000 inpatients, some on the bed, some on the floor, whatever.
Corridor,
but every day, that hospital treats 6,000 outpatients. 6,000. Now, URA has about 2,000.
Hold on, we hadn't gotten to that part yet.
2,900.
But yeah, Mulago is supposed to receive 17 billion, 17 point something billion Uganda shillings.
Yeah.
Now, what's the other comparison
now
we
I have
have?
to repeat the whole statement.
It's okay. It's
okay.
It's right there in front
For
of you.
emphasis.
Give
We
us.
don't have time. Let's move on. So on TikTok,
Just finish. Fine, let's finish it. Don't
URA.
even do that. Just finish it. Just read it.
I will just think
Mulago
it in my
National
head.
Referral Hospital has been allocated 17.756 billion shillings, while URA has been given 18.2 billion for the purchase of medicines for its staff for the same year. So in other words,
Yeah, so that's the
the
comparison.
URA budget for medicine is bigger
bigger.
than the National Referral Hospital budget.
Yeah.
That's what the
So we're
Parliament
struggling
account.
to make sense of that.
This was posted on the Twitter account by Parliamentary Watch.
Yeah.
So I guess these were the discussions taking place in Parliament. On the floor.
So guys, maybe we're just being judgmental. You guys can tell us. Mulago is receiving or is supposed to receive 17.5 billion for drugs for the
That's going to get
country
about 6,000 outpatients
A
and
day.
3,000
inpatients.
yeah.
And URA is supposed to receive 18
.2.
To cater for about, to cater for about
18.2
2,900 to 3,000
to buy
employees.
medicine for their staff. That's
Yeah.
about 2,900
The issue is-
people.
the issue with
Now,
Uganda-
the difference is 1 point.
You don't even need to calculate
billion.
the difference. It's just
That
out of
as a
touch.
country, we are receiving 17 billion for medication. As a corporation, they are receiving 18 point something billion for their medication.
But they're the ones
Maybe we
making
are
the
the
ones
ones that
making
don't.
the ones making
That's what
the
I was
ones
about
making-
to say.
You have to check your
Guys
papers.
out there collecting this money.
Has you ever been on your case? You may not understand. Jose,
Guys,
when URA comes knocking.
They're even going to come for us. So
URA, when they come knocking.
these things, go on
maybe I
TikTok.
am
joking.
Be like
judgmental.
Sheila Mwanga. Go on TikTok. Make your video, make sure eri mu Luganda kubanga Sheila naye bamugambye mulekere okutukolera video mu Luzungu kuba mu Luganda. That's how TikTok people are going to fight for you. Go on TikTok on your account.
I'm
Voice
going
this
to do-
issue.
Sheila Mwanga, that's the
First, tell us
the
about
BMK
Sheila Mwanga.
daughter.
You've talked about it like
That's
a
the
couple
latest.
times now. Tell us about Sheila Mwanga.
Man, let me tell you, Uganda A by Nabidi.
Uganda what?
Uganda A.
Kati abo be bagagga.
So on social media there's Uganda A.
Abaina
The
accent.
kids who pronounce
Oh,
Sepichi as Sefriye.
what?
Sefriye.
What?
Sefriye, like a Sefriya. Sefriye.
We have those ones?
That's
how you know.
Look at this motherfucker here.
That's how he knows.
You're
Tell him
Uganda B. This is
A.
Uganda A I'm talking about.
That's how you know you're not in Uganda A.
Twina mumu wa Uganda A.
They wouldn't be here.
This is mostly B, C.
I know.
We even have some
I had hope in
Fs.
our producer.
No. Producer ari nafe.
We even have some Fs.
Fetuli musi. Uganda C.
We're hearing them. Right.
Sheila Bichi.
So Sheila Mwanga is the late BMK's daughter. So I think for the past 3 days, she just went on TikTok and just laid out everything to do with her dad's property and how one of the older brothers fraudulently sold off some of these properties, put them in the bank for loans, and now people are coming for the properties and all that. It's a long story. You guys can check her account on TikTok. But what stood out for me were two things. One, when she clearly, properly articulated her videos, they were still at 10K views, 5K views. And TikTokers were like, guy, man, put this thing in Uganda and we fight for you. Put it in Uganda. So, okay, let me quote. Singa bibadde mu Uganda, twandikulwanidde.
That's what TikTok has said.
Yes, what does the girl do? One day later, she comes with a Luganda version.
Amanyo Luganda.
Was her Luganda?
Atalumanyi, tell him we are right. This girl clearly articulated the entire story, how people are coming at them, at the family, at their property, and how the law has ideally failed them. Yeah, this video had like 500K views.
Because of Luganda.
One day.
Yeah.
Because of Luganda. So when I was telling you guys before the pod, mulero tutandika okwogera Luganda. That is why.
Is this why Mubaji has a problem with TikTok?
The second thing, before we get there, so the second thing, apparently when they called the big bro, the one responsible for all the mess happening, when they called him to talk about the issue, like what happened, apparently, but I fear, what if even me, that witchcraft comes
What happens? First finish.
You're a child of God. Me, I'm a child of God. Those things can't come. I am anyway.
First chill that shit.
So apparently, the brother told the family that for him, he is bewitched. He can be there seated in his house and he will see a big black bird and the bird will tell him
to sign
here.
Yeah.
And he signs.
Literally.
After he signs, the property
but what if
is
it's
taken.
true, guys?
Guys.
Sometimes people have mental issues.
But also witchcraft is real.
Hallucination.
Also witchcraft is real.
That one we're not going to discuss it.
We're not going to discuss it.
No, but we cannot just throw it under the bus.
No, but we're not going to discuss it, whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
No, that one we are not.
Because have you ever experienced it?
Let me ask, but would you date someone
let's switch there.
if you find out they practice witchcraft?
No. Actually,
because
it's not even about dating. Friend, we can be very good friends here, Faisal.
Hey, Piper, the table you are shaking. Hello, excuse me. The table you are shaking. That's my drink.
Let me tell you, we can be just friends. And tomorrow, if I find out that there is a practice that you do that is witchy, we are done. It doesn't matter whether whether you're going to send me things or you will never, but we are done.
Only if you find out.
Yeah,
of course, obviously.
But if you don't find out,
there's no reason for me to not. But I swear, we are done. Like me, I am a child of God, my friends.
For me, it's not even about God or whatever. It's just that anybody who practices witchcraft.
You sound like an atheist, but it's okay.
Anybody who practices witchcraft, there's a certain persona you're putting out there that you don't, first of all, believe in your ability as a person. That's one, which makes me see you some kind of way, right? But then secondly, anybody who believes in witchcraft, in my opinion, is a person who is lacking in terms of mental judgment, in terms of awareness, in terms of accessing information, in terms of just being knowledgeable. Because witchcraft, like religion, closes your mind to receiving new information. It closes your mind to that. And the moment you practice witchcraft, I know at the back of my mind that this is not somebody I can reason with. You can't reason with such a person. Because if they tell you that, you jump over this thing and then, I don't know, you get money or whatever, how do you even explain that?
But would you jump?
Okay, don't fight.
Yeah, but what
would you jump? Yes.
For what? No.
To get the money.
Sandra, let me
This
step
ask
one
you
is
guys something. Let
sounding
me
like
ask
he
you
would
guys something.
jump to get the money.
Isn't that stuff?
I would jump to find out.
Isn't this stuff of
Then when I
retweet-
get the money,
retweet
now
this
that's a
post,
different conversation.
Over add amen to get blessings. What isn't that
I
witchcraft?
don't do it.
I
Is that a
hate
form
it.
of witchcraft?
Me, I can't
Which one?
do it.
Those guys who go on TikTok saying, like this post and you'll get money if you skip it.
Those are religious
bad luck and all that.
zealots. Them and people practice witchcraft, they're in the same
They're in the
WhatsApp
same
group.
category, yeah.
They just keep interchanging who's the admin.
But guys, now, okay, fine. But now I'd like to bring it to our attention that even
Producer,
before,
what's the challenge?
even before religion
The time
came,
is done.
we
But I
as
swear, Mos, I
Africans-
feel like you.
even
holding the point,
before religion came, like Islam
Yeah.
and Christianity and all that, we in Africa had our traditional
Way of
norms
belief,
of
yes,
belief,
yes,
yeah?
we did, yes.
Okay, I don't know whether it was witchcraft, but I know it wasn't.
It was belief, it was a belief
It was
system,
belief,
basically. It
yeah.
was
A
a
belief system.
yes.
So explain to me how, because me, I feel like that belief system,
Yeah.
there are some people who still practice it,
Yes.
but they are it's looked at as witchcraft.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Because they don't explain
I-
the difference.
yeah.
Because me, I don't know. I'm very sure you guys, when someone says witchcraft, this is the image that is coming to your mind, right?
Those Nigerian movies.
Like there's someone sacrificing a kid
like,
or
yeah.
a person. There's
Yeah.
someone sleeping
Yeah.
with a snake. Like now,
Yeah.
that is
But
why.
I will-
that's what I'm saying.
I will
that
tell you
if
though.
you're
So there are people who sleep with snakes?
apparently,
Yeah, this man is talking like he
Mbona
doesn't.
now unaenda kukuba. But like you get my point. Like when we say witchcraft, that's the
I think
image, and I can't
people need
change
to,
it.
People
That
need
is
to,
why I
people need to
cannot.
create the distinction, right?
Yeah.
Between witchcraft as a practice
And
or as a
traditional
form of
beliefs.
And traditional
and
beliefs.
just traditional beliefs. A lot of the African traditional beliefs that we have or that were passed down were anchored in something. Some of them were anchored in young people respecting the elders. That was the anchor of the belief. So, for example, when they say, when your father sits on the table, as a son, you're not supposed to sit on the same table with him, right? It's a belief in very many cultures, but the purpose is they want you to be able to realize that that person is your father and you are his son.
I think most of them were riding along the line of respect.
Yeah, a lot of the
Because I remember there was also one to do with the cooking stones. You're not supposed to sit on a cooking stone and stuff like that.
So for you internalize it as some kind of religious belief, but it's anchored in a certain value.
Traditionally, basically.
That's why African culture had a lot of those things, and people misconstrued and assumed that is witchcraft. All of those beliefs that were carried down from our forefathers, all of them were anchored in a certain value that they're trying to teach or to pass on. But today, people misconstrue and confuse and say, for example, things like a girl is not supposed to climb a tree.
Oh yeah,
right.
Ride the bicycle.
Yeah, or ride a bicycle, and they it's anchored somewhere. It's anchored somewhere. It's got a certain either health or mental or spiritual, or it's got a certain benefit it gives you. So that's the background to it. So the distinction has to be created between that and witchcraft, the practice of witchcraft. Those are two separate things. African tradition and witchcraft, they are two separate things, but people kind of mix them. Then that's the mistake.
Okay, so these guys who say if you get a bald man and you cut him, you'll get gold. That is witchcraft.
That's foolishness.
Stupidity now. That's
We do have gold though. We've talked about this before.
yeah.
We've mentioned it before.
But
So do you want to move on?
That's about it.
That's about it?
We need to
No.
stop. We have to end up because Moses has been doing this for me like the entire time.
But I want to just shout. I want the guys who are watching this pod, right? You normally hear us talk about Moses. Moses is the guy, is the lead of the team that's behind the scenes. There's a massive team behind the
Like
the
30
scenes.
people.
Yeah, we've got makeup. We've got guys who make sure our voices are kawa. We've got nutritionists. We've got a very huge.
We
team.
have researchers.
So a shout out.
Researchers.
A shout out to Moses.
Yeah.
Right. A shout out to Moses for doing a very, very awesome job, making sure that this pod happens every week. We don't take it for granted. Yeah. And also
Guys.
to our researchers, people like Claire.
So why do you mention?
No, I didn't. We
You want
mentioned
everyone to
Moses.
start
We
knowing.
mentioned Moses. So
You
we
are
need to mention also.
in a business. You are making it public.
No, she's a researcher.
What is your problem?
She's a researcher for the
Yes,
pod.
but she's supposed to stay anonymous. What's your problem?
Producer, you'll edit.
Remove
Claire out.
Guys,
See you next week.
see you next week. I have to mention this though, guys. You overwhelmed us with episode 11. Mukolenga we mutioke overwhelming us. We love you so
We
much.
thank you.
Yeah.
We thank you. Don't forget.
Remind them
subscribe, like, share, comment,
Yeah.
recommend, and all that beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You know. And thank you for sticking with us.
Is the
Mwah.
oh,
See-
Michelle, there's a guy I met in traffic.
Mutute.
I
See
promise.
you next time.
He's called Mosa
Episode
Mose.
weekday yatekati.
Ate kati siyaogerenga episode eki.
Jinda koba sokiba tu producer tugambe. Cut.
Tukatinge anyway. Michelle, waliyo guy atunda steering wheel bazita batya? Is the
The covers.
steering covers. Bamwita bamoze.